Old business, district reconfiguration.
We have 4 things that we'll review as part of the ongoing reconfiguration update. Mr. Henshaw, you have construction first. We'll do a construction update first, then we'll talk about early childhood, the transitions for the different grade spans for 4th, 7th, and 9th, and then just an update on our co-curricular program.
We had this slide ready for you just as part of the reconfiguration, just to remind you that the size of this, what you approved tonight on the wood mulch, is about 100 by 65, 70 feet in area. And obviously with the manufacturer helping, they'll help lay it out specifically in that area. So we have safe zones all around each activity that's available. So I just wanted to have a chance to see that at the middle school. Those are some other views of it, the backside. That's all we needed on that one. And then high school construction update real quick. We're on schedule. We've enjoyed the nice weather this last week or so. And really, to be honest, January's been pretty dry. So it's been a good month to get some things done. The roof is sealed up other than the overhangs, and so we'll look at that in a few of these pictures. I did put a maroon box around part of the new construction. If you can see that on this slide, I think probably by the second week of March, that area will be ready to turn over to the flooring subcontractor to start putting down floor. And so that's kind of an exciting thing. As you recall, we started on the north end of this construction project up where the wrestling room is, and we've been working our way south. So the photos, just a few photos from this week, that's a good picture of the entrance. So the main roof structure, the 27,000 square foot, is covered. They still have to put the caps over the tops of the walls and those kinds of things to seal it in, but the rubber's all in place, sealed up. But the overhangs above the doorways and those type of things aren't finished yet. So we had a construction meeting this Tuesday. Things are really rolling well on the project. Curbs and sidewalks, and those they're starting to lay those out. We made a final selection on the Bulldog. Each time we had to have a sample sent to approve that, so that's ready to go. They've got that order placed, and they'll go into the brick. There's some work going on outside as well. And so, yeah, great picture. But I didn't have to get any approval for this because there weren't any faces in it, right?
It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I discarded a few.
Jenny, did you take that?
I took it. RFPs and change orders, there aren't any for tonight. Those are just the ones that we've gone through. We do have another RFP 15 that's been added to this, but moving right along with the project. We are under budget, and so no action to take tonight. Original contract, if you recall, was $5,731,000, and with the change orders, we're down to $5,716 and some change. So, running under budget and running on schedule.
Great.
We're excited. We're hoping to be able to
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Met with Robert Studdert, cabinet making teacher. Jim and I sat down and finalized office furniture and those type things in the lecture room. We're trying to, we've contacted a couple of, a company out of Chicago for some help with table legs. trying to work with a company that normally supplies everything, and we've asked them to kind of work with us and explain to them our cabinet-making program, and they seem to be excited about that. I don't know if we'll end up going with them. They're trying to work out pricing and that type of stuff. They can't give it to us for free, but we're hoping that we can do something really special in that lecture room, the presentation room. CORE has generously donated some money, and we're grateful for that to really make that a nice place for our kids and as well as the community to use that, as you know. So, any questions about the project right now?
We still kind of on the timeline,
We're good.
doing okay?
Good.
He said
Right
I'm
now,
on
we're good.
schedule
Good,
twice.
Yeah.
good.
Uh,
3 months is good to say.
I'm just, he normally avoids actually saying that we're on schedule, so I was impressed to hear the
Yeah.
words.
We're doing well.
Good.
We're doing well. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Just an update on the early childhood progress. Visited with Laura this week, and as you know, the registration for early childhood program, the PUPS program, is the 7th and 8th of February, and we have close to 100 families already
Great.
registered, and of those, about 40 have not had any preschool programming. So we look for that to continue to climb a little bit. But it's hovering around those numbers. She's hitting it hard. She's been at the couple of career days this week. She was at the one here we had yesterday and helped for the early childhood program that's through the partnership with East Central and RTC.
Aaron, you said they were registered, or you mean they have
They signed
appointments?
they have appointments.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, that's kind of when we were doing all that information seeking, whatever, you know, we saw where there was about 50, you know, close to 50% that we
Yeah.
saw that did not have it. So that's
Right.
pretty interesting that about 40% of those have not had preschool.
Yeah, and those numbers will
Uh-huh,
continue
sure,
to come.
sure.
As far as the transition goes, we have the second round of meetings with our building principals that relate to their evaluations, but embedded in that is transition planning. So with the elementary principals this week and middle school principals, particularly talking about personnel, talking about budget, talking about facilities. You heard tonight the things that we're doing at the middle school to turn that school from a middle school into an upper elementary school. Kind of shared with you in previous meetings that one of the things that I heard loud and clear when I spoke with parent groups was that recess, what are you going to do to make the middle school look more like an elementary school? So you saw tonight the tangible work that we're going to do there. So working on schedules. The fourth grade schedule is not complete, but the fourth grade schedule will mirror a lot of ways what's happening currently at the elementaries when they hit the middle school. So working through that. The one thing we're really going to hone in on over the next few weeks will be the specials, the other exploratory type programs, music and art, et cetera. We need to get the high school schedule complete. As you well know, the course description book was approved, and then the students select their courses. We're working on having those courses entered in so we know exactly where to deploy staff so that we'll know what staff members we can use at those transition points. A lot of our discussions in the last few days have been about technology. We're going to need to supplement the budget with technology for the 9th grade teachers that are coming over with the freshman students. Same thing will need to occur at the other schools. Without going, we've met with Dr. Davis, for example, today for almost 3 hours. So I'm not going to take you through 3 hours of planning meeting, but a lot of time invested in making sure that we've got those all those items addressed. And then now the communication effort will be out to the parents. We've had the students in at 3rd and 4th grade during the course of the last few weeks over to middle school, and they got to see the picture of the playground, and that's exciting for them, as it should be. And then we'll work through parent meetings, and actually today we talked with Dr. Davis about changing the parent advisory committee name to a PTO, because that's really what it's going to become when more of the elementary students hit the middle school. So we have a lot of information to get out to parents yet, a lot of opportunities for them to interact with Dr. Davis and the staff when we have those transition meetings that were typically for fourth graders becoming fifth graders, but more importantly now because third graders are becoming fourth graders heading there, and the fourth graders are fifth, so they'll have 2 new grade levels there, as will the junior high be a completely new building. Last meeting I reported about the efforts that were happening at the junior high with parents in 7th and 8th grade. So same thing's happening at the high school. So a lot of work going in there into those efforts. As far as 7th grade activities go, as the filling of those coaching positions, those positions have been posted open, and we've started the process, Kathy Shoup has, of interviewing staff members internally and looking externally as more of our openings become apparent for filling those positions throughout this spring. So as we told you when we started this process, the next meeting I'll actually put the timeline back up, and we'll keep moving that little yellow arrow over further to the right. We're getting it when we get into spring. We'll be having a lot of interaction with the buildings, making sure that transition runs smoothly. So again, the 7th and the 8th, early childhood registration. If anybody's watching, or RD, if you'd put a plug in the newspaper, we'd appreciate that. We want to make sure the parents of those children are aware that that's happening at Green Tree on the 7th and 8th. So be happy to answer any questions.
Children need to have turned 4 by, what's the date again?
July 31st.
July 31st.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
All right.
You.